Starting at what verse?
I did verse 1 and I skipped down to verse 8.
Okay.
Glory to God. And then verse 9 says, he begins to tell you why. He begins to explain the blessing in being obedient to the commandments of the Lord. He said that you may prolong your days in the land. In other words, our obedience to the commands of God gives us long days. Causes your years to be full. In other words, you live to be an old man. It causes you to walk into a land that flows with milk and honey. Verse 10, he says, for the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence you came out, where thou sowest thy seed and waterest it with thy foot as a garden of the earth. He literally says, what you've been delivered from is not the place he's trying to take you into. So as I look at that, for some of us, it's God is not wanting you to rehearse your days of prison, because that's where you come from is not where he's taking you to. One of the biggest things that hurt the children of Israel that came out of Egypt is they never took their minds away from the place that had them in bondage. In their minds, they stayed bound. In their minds, they stayed slaves. In their minds, they were steady given hard tasks and labors. They didn't get free. There was no taskmaster over them. And they started to equate what they went through in Egypt to what they went through under Moses' leadership. And Moses was nothing like Pharaoh. How you identify the deliverers in your life will determine whether you get deliverance or not. If God sends you a deliverer and you think of your deliverer as your warden, you will not get the benefits that the deliverer brings you. So Moses tells him, he said, this is not like where you come from. Where God is taking you is not like what you've been through. So I want to remind you that today. God is not taking you into the same thing that he's brought you out of.
Amen.
Change your mentality. Change your mindset. Face each day like a free man. Face each day with the spirit of liberty. So you can possess what he promised you. I'm telling you people, if you look at this closely, you'll see that what God was asking them to do starts on the inside. Before you can experience possessing anything physically, that thing has to be in you. You have to possess it internally, in your spirit. See, verse 11, but the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven. See, in Egypt you had to work so hard that you had to use your foot just to get water to your crops. Here, you're going to be in some hills and valleys. The rain going to come down and the water will just run through with ease. The land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in its due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, and I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. That's where I'm going to stop today. So I'm telling you, your freedom has to start on the inside. Don't let your heart deceive you into thinking that you are bound to anything that reminds you of what God brought you out of. And I'm telling you, you've been brought out. Ain't no doubt about that. You've been brought out. You are not in bondage.